Hi friends, welcome to SFTC Plus. So today's topic is Summer 20 release. So going further, we'll be discussing more about Summer 23 new releases and new features and new enhancements. So let's get into the topic. So currently, Summer 23 release is available under a pre-release program. So the Summer 23 has started on 5th May. So from on 5th May, Sandbox will be upgraded. Sandboxes were upgraded, and as a result, your org will get look and feel of the summer temporary release. And by the end of June 9th, so all the Salesforce instances will be moved to summer 20 release. So in these releases, sorry, you will find a lot of new features, as we discussed, a lot of new features as well as new enhancements related to this lightning experience, Salesforce flows, LWC components, Apex, Aura components, and different kind of a module like Experience Cloud, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, etc. We have a lot of products in sales, but we'll be seeing a lot of new features and new rich experience in Salesforce. So in this video, we'll be discussing some of these important features which are available or which are newly released in the summer 23. So the first one is, so after this summer 23 release, you can configure which objects and fields are searchable for a particular user profile. So which means like you can see, like you can set up, like let's suppose for a profile one, you can set up what are the objects that can be searchable for this profile and what are the fields you can search for with this profile when he or she doing in a global search, when he's doing kind of a search based on the search keyword, right? So to set this, right, what we can do, I have created a basically I have created a pre-releaser, so I'll be giving a pre-link sign up link, so where you can simply sign up the SAR so that you can get a say, summer 23 pre-releaser. It is a free from Salesforce, so you can test and you can work with a newly enhanced summer 23 features. So I have created R and to show a kind of a demo to you. So as part of our feature, where basically you can set up, you can control the search for a particular object for a particular profile. So you can go to search manager in the setup, and what you can do, you can simply in the search configurations, right? You can simply click on new, and just giving a name, random name, and you can select a profile, whatever it may be, like any custom profiles or something. I'm giving custom support profile. It's already part of other one, and custom marketing profile. Okay, I'm giving. You can click on this, and you can see, you can select, right, whether its account is searchable or not. If you enable it, it is searchable. Like for this particular marketing profile, if you saying searching for the particular search text, this account will be searchable to the search text. If you disable it, the account won't be available in the search results. And similar way, if you kind of you can go to all objects, and all these objects, right? All these objects are searchable. Like here, if you see, basically to make it available while creating a custom object, while creating the object, right? If you enable this, if it is set sheet, it will enable here, it will come here. So if after this, if you enable here, those results will be available in the global search. If disable is this particular asset, let's suppose I'm disabling this asset, right? For this marketing profile, whenever you're searching, this asset records won't be included in the search results. I hope you understand it, right? So let's go into that next one. So in this next one, of the next feature is you can you can set field level security for a field on a permission set instead of profiles. So generally, before summer 23 release, right, whenever you're creating a new field, right, the new field in this particular creation, right, you can select what are the fields are available, whether it's a read only, whether it's visible for a particular profiles or not, right? You can do that for the profile level as of now. So now, uh, after this release, right, like before doing that, what you need to do, you need to go to user management settings, And you can enable this field level security for permission sets during field creation or editing a custom fields. So what you need to enable this, and you need to, let's suppose for testing I'll be creating a new field, sorry, and let's suppose it's a text field. Field. So generally, after clicking on next, right, generally you will see profiles. But if you enable this feature in the user management settings, now if we see, you see the permission sets which are available are your org. So because I don't have any SFDC, this is a standard permission set for a chatbot, right? So I don't have any permission sets created in this org, so I don't see anything. So if you have any permission set for your org, those permission sets will be available or will be visible here, so that you can select whether it's you have a read access or you have a edit access kind of thing. You can enable or you can disable this. And if you want to filter only permission who has access to this particular object, who has a basic CRUD permissions, a create, editor kind of thing. So you can check this checkbox so that it will filter to those permissions that who has a basic CRUD permissions on the object where you are creating a field, right? And similar way you can create a next, and you can enable this. You can enable this. What are the page layouts you want to do it or something. So this is another feature where Salesforce is enforcing in Summer 23. The next one is cloning a lightning apps. Like whenever you're creating a console app, whenever creating a new lightning application, that basically previously you need to create from scratch and you need to do some changes, right? Instead of that, this recently Salesforce introduced is Salesforce is allowing you to clone this. Like you don't need to create from scratch. You can uh, you can clone any existing application and then you can do your modifications, and like basically it will be enabling you to quickly create these applications, right, based on this existing one. You don't need to, because you simply creating a clone and you will do changes based on your requirement. Or you can configure this, what are the app options, or you can configure what are the utility bar items, anything you can configure it, and you can quickly quick- quickly click on save button. So the limit as of now, the limitation for this particular cloning of lightning applications, it is available only for custom lightning applications. So it is not available for standard applications or connected applications or managed applications, community applications or classic applications. So let's suppose, let me test that. So if you see, it's a sales application. So if you click on this, you don't see any clone button. Means cloning is not available, because as I told you, cloning is not only available for custom applications only. I have created a custom application. If you see Summer 23 release, I'll be clicking on this. If you see the clone button, so if you click on clone, it will simply copy these existing properties of your Summer 23 application or what is your custom application, and then you can create your own application by doing these configuration changes are based on your requirement. And the other feature is basically, previously uh, we might be having an idea of this delegated admins, right? So previously delegated admins had some limitations. Now Salesforce is allowing these delegated admins to manage this permission set group assignments. So like basically you can test what, but basically in the setup you can create delegated administration, and then you can create or use an existing delegated group, and then assign a permission set group or permission set or select an existing permission sets. That particular delegated admins can assign these permission sets, these particular permission set groups to the users, or they can remove these users. So basically they are giving delegated admins to manage these assignments of these permission sets. But basically they can't modify this, but they can assign or remove this permission set or assign. Basically, they can manage this assignments. And uh, the another feature which is interesting is basically align your fields horizontally in field sections. Field sections in the sense, let me open. Let me show you that clearly. And let's suppose for some of the cases, right, some scenarios where basically you have an address field which is a large field, and you have another field, right, another small field or some text field, right, which you showed it in a parallelly, so that the for you, right, it is not suitable, or is not looking aligned, right? So Salesforce recently introduced, like whenever you go to this app builder, and I'm clicking on edit object, right? And basically, if you see, let me open that. You basically you have idea of this uh, dynamic things, right? Dynamic form. So you can upload these dynamic forms and migrate fields. Let's suppose, for example, I'm just clicking on this quickly. Now, if you see, I'm just checking, do we have any other if you see, if you add anything, let me quickly show you that. If you see, if you click on this align horizontally, right, if you see, if like if whenever you have an address field here, I want to show you that. Let me do that again. Yeah, and I'm just dragging an active. Okay. If you see, I'm just saving it. When I go to this account, I'm going to the detail page. If you see, both these both these fields are address field. That is why it is showing as compatible here. But let me just remove. I have removed this address field, one of the address field. I'm just using another small field called active or some checkbox field. Okay. Yeah. If you see, this is address field, and if you see here, if I'm just editing this field, okay. Address information, right? If you see, this is looking like this is a long one, right? Because it's address field, and it's a simple checkbox, right? It is not at compatible, right? So for this kind of a scenarios where if you see, this is address section, and I'm clicking on this align fields, and I'm clicking on align fields horizontally, and then I'm clicking on save. Okay. Now, let me refresh this screen. See, if you remember, previously it was up to here only. So because it's a new long field, it is here. So it is not looking like compatible or stable thing, right? Now, if you see, these two are adjusted into the horizontal adjusted the same size. So that for looks, it will be looking good. So this is the feature where Salesforce introduced. You can check this checkbox, align fields horizontal, so that with respect of the size of the field, the text which you entered, it will align horizontally in your particular page layout. And in the same way, you can optimize your pages based on, like let's suppose you might be adding a lot of features, a lot of fields and everything in your page layout, right? Which is basically which will reduce your performance or reduce your page performance, right? So basically, you can use this accordion, like you can simply use this tabs field or tabs component, or you might be aware of this accordion component, right? Let me try it so that you will have. So you can simply, it's a kind of accordion. You can unclick it or click it. See, if you click this, it will be disabled, it will be dragged, so that it will be easy to see a rich experience, rich user experience. You will have simply, you can use tabs. So that basically, if you start using this particular standard field, it will increase your performance of your page, and basically, it will optimize your pages so that it will be used to load your pages quickly. And one more feature Salesforce introduced in the sense like it will enhance this existing functionality, case safe ID. So before this case safe ID, you have idea on this, right? Basically this case safe ID function, right? It will be used in kind of a formulas where basically it will convert it will convert your 15 digit ID into 18 digit case insensitive ID, right? If basically previously with before summer 23 release, right? So if basically in Salesforce Classic, this function is converted only valid Salesforce 15 characters ID. In Lightning, if the function converted any 15 character ID, whether it's a valid or not, it will be converted into 18 digit ID before, like previously summer 23. But now Salesforce made changes so that whether it's a Salesforce Classic or Lightning, it will convert the 50 only valid 15 digit ID into 18 digit ID. If this 15 digit ID is not a valid, it simply returns the same ID which you are passing. Like basically, if you are passing, for example, if you are passing an invalid ID, so the function returns the same invalid 15 digit ID. And if you are passing any valid 15 digit ID, so this function, case safe ID function, will return something which is a valid 18 digit ID. And basically, and the another feature which is more interesting is you can create a kind of a default no reply functions, and let me show you how it works. So basically, you might be aware of this no reply, right? Basically, whenever you are creating a case, right, auto response, or whenever creating and doing some changes or something, right, it will be creating a no reply sign. In the no reply function, Salesforce restriction, you cannot use any case details or user details. Something. It's a default pages. So in order to avoid that, where you can create organization wide email addresses, so that you can simply click on add, and you can click on name, something like this, and you can click on this company address or something like this, and the purpose is user selection. User selection in the sense like whenever you're replying to this emails, right, you can click on from emails or something like that. And if you click and see if you, what you're talking about, no reply, default no reply emails. So that it will be default whenever you can use this no default no reply email address for your standard auto response, case communications, or lot of things related to this. And mm, what basically you can do. And one more thing is, recently Salesforce is added before, like what I'm trying to say, before summer 23, right? You can filter, you can restrict through profiles. You can click on allow all profiles from this, use this format as only selected profiles. Now Salesforce is adding features or something like that, so that you can add this, you can control this from the permission sets as well, right? You can select this permission set and you can click on the no permission if you can configure anything, right, in this permission set. Basically, how you can do, it's basically controlling who can do this. You can use your organization email address, right? So you can control through profiles, as well as now you can control through permission set, right? And to basically uh, to add this permission to organization, to go to, like, you need to organization settings, and you can create, and you can add this in the permission sets. And uh, you might be aware of knowledge articles, right? So you can create a knowledge article, you can publish the knowledge article, so that your agents and end users, they can be able to use this knowledge article when once you publish it. So now you can schedule a knowledge article to publish at a specific time, right? Basically, Salesforce previously, you can publish this knowledge article based on a particular time frame, but now you can schedule this particular knowledge article publish at a specific time. For example, if you release a new update for your, right, you can select a publishing that particular knowledge article, announcing that public article gets published, or like gets published on that particular time frame, right? Previously, as I told you, right, previously you cannot schedule this publish of this knowledge article for a particular time frame. You can only do it for the particular date. And then like you might be aware of this Einstein bots, or bots, right, in Salesforce. So uh, recently Salesforce introduced uh, kind of like building bots, like Einstein bot blocks or Einstein bot templates. And let me show you that. If you go to this Einstein bot page, right, if you see these are the bots. And I just go to this, uh, you can click on new bot, right? And previously it was there. Now you can use this bot templates in the sense, you can create a standard templates, and you can start from that instead of creating from scratch. You can use that particular template, and you can use kind of a bot blocks, right? So you can create a kind of a no, dialogue, right? And you can use that particular block or dialogue on your multiple bots, so that it's not a kind of a repetitive work, so that you can simply use a piece of block or piece of code into your bots. So recently Salesforce added these new features, so that it will be easy to use or easy to create a new bots. And uh, you, we might be aware of this flow permissions, right? Flow user permission set. Flow user permission sets basically recently uh, Salesforce added or redefined these permissions in a way that, right, so it will be easy to identify it. Let me open a permission set. Let me quickly create a permission set. Or you can open an existing one also. Like previously, they were dispersed into different areas. Right now, if you can go to this particular permission set, and you can click on app permission. Here I don't think it is has. Let me open another one. Let me create a quickly a new one. Now you can go to this app permissions, and if you see flow and flow work, so they have created new sections in order to avoid confusion. So you can get all your flow user permissions in a single section in app permissions. And like uh, we might be aware of this omni supervisor, right? So basically not sure whether I have enabled this omni channel. No, no idea. So basically I haven't enabled because it's a new org. I haven't enabled this omni channel omni supervisor setup. So basically Salesforce added a new tab called omni in the omni supervisor wall board. It's a pilot program, but in this wall program, right, in this, so you can monitor your contact center, whether if you enable anything called uh, if you enable, if you have any contact centers or any voice call status, right, you can simply monitor that particular status in the omni. Previously you can use these skill backlogs or group assignments or omni status or cases or things like charts or something. So you can monitor contact center health in omni supervisor, as I told you. In this omni channel, if you see, let me open a new tab so that it will, yeah. If you see this agents and queue backlog, assign worker, skill backlog, everything is a word, existing ones. If you see wallboard, it will simply give you this whole omni-channel wallboard, so that what are the agents capacity. It's basically it will giving you the contact centers or what is the voice calls or existing functionality. Like it's basically the status of your contact centers, how you are enabling this or something like that. And we might be aware of this dashboards and the stuff, right? So basically they're adding more features into this Slack integrations, right, into Salesforce, so that uh, basically you can add more filters, right? You can add from the dashboard. As of now you can enable up to three filters in your dashboard. But recently Salesforce, they're adding more filters. Like you can create up to five filters in your Lightning dashboard, so that you can focus on your work, right? With a no more dashboard, in the sense more filters you can add and more organized way of doing or showing your data. And the final point which I want to discuss is, so recently, as of now, Salesforce, right? Salesforce, whenever you're creating a sandboxes or whenever you're refreshing your sandboxes, right? So it is having some good amount of it is whenever it is a full sandbox, it is taking some good amount of time, right? So recently, Salesforce is come across with a solution where basically you can quickly create a full sandbox. So the quick create technologies enabling this quick creation of these sandboxes or quick refreshing of your sandboxes, so that our end users or customer can focus more time on this development or testing their solutions, or less time of waiting for refresh time or sandbox creation time. And so that it obviously increase your increase your development time, or increase your testing time, increase your productivity as well from endpoint. So so that's it for today, friends, and thank you very much for your time.